Hey there, my name is Brian, and if you're watching this video, chances are you have an ostomy or someone that you know may have an ostomy, and you're trying to figure out now what it is to do, how to handle this, how you're going to live with this, how your friend or family member is going to live with this. I've had an ostomy for 9 months. I had emergency surgery that saved my life. So if you do have an ostomy right now, you should be grateful. Better to be seen, not viewed. And every day after that's a gift. But I know you're concerned. I know you're scared. I know you're confused. It's going to be a mental challenge to get by this as well as a physical adjustment. Um, First thing I think you need to know is that having an ostomy does not mean it's the end of the world. It's manageable. You're going to be able to get through this every day. You're going to change your lifestyle a little bit. I had to change mine. Um, but no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, know that there's someone else out there that has it worse than you. And be grateful for that. Um, but not that I'm grateful, but I'm alive. I'm here. I do have an ostomy. It's covered right now. And I thought I'd start off this video showing you some of the supplies that I go through, that I use, that I need on a daily basis. Sometimes a couple of every few days, and kind of walk you through that. So I'm going to change this camera angle, this right now. So everybody's different. There's a lot of companies out there that make supplies. I'm comfortable mostly for myself with Coloplast products, and this is not an endorsement for them. I've also used Hollister and Convatec, but this is basically the supplies that I use. I use a two-part system. So my appliance, which is separate than the bag. My bags are, I can clean them or I can dispose of them. I use a protective seal. And just to kind of show you, so here is my appliance. This is what my appliance looks like. You can see how it matches. The shape is because I'm kind of a little overweight. I have a protruding belly, and it kind of gives a little bit when different parts of my body move separate from one another. I also have used in the past this. This is a different setup. Again, a two-part system. This is what it looks like. And in this case, if you see the measurements on here, you might be looking at some of these right now. You're going to want to measure out your size, how it works best for your ostomy, for your stoma, and then cut around it. And I'm not going to do that. The ones that I've been using already have cutouts put in. And I do use a protective seal, which is this right here. And my protective seal, I'll show you actually how I put that on, when I use it, at what point. It's a double sticky sided adhesive. It creates a barrier to stop anything from leaking out. I think that's one of the most important things. Here, you're going to see that I also have elastic barrier strips. These are kind of a regular size. These are extra large. To put them into context, this is the one that the regular size one that I use, and these are the extra large. And you can see how much bigger they are and how that works. I prefer the extra large ones for myself, but occasionally, I have to use, sometimes I use both. If you're going to go in a swimming pool, I tend to use both. Next is, this is a skin barrier spray. Before you put everything together, and you'll get to see, I'll do it for you, on myself. You can spray it. I tend not to use the sprays anymore. I tend not to use the powders anymore. Somehow, I'm very comfortable without it. But I did have problems with my adhesives earlier on. This right here, you're going to want to get some of this for your bag. It's a lubricating deodorant, so much that, it doesn't smell, right? Here, you're going to take a look. Now, I got these separate. on Amazon, but one is a no-sting barrier film. And similar to this, if you guys just heard I tooted, that's something else you're going to get used to. You have no control when you fart, so you might as well enjoy it. I farted in the middle of meetings in business. I farted at dinner tables. You have no control, so don't let it embarrass you. Don't let it bring you down. But these no sting barrier films, when you put the powder on, you're going to dab around the powder, and it's an adhesive again to help stop you from leaking and down the road. This right here, these are adhesive remover wipes, as is this over here that I use. This is a spray, but these I wipe once I take off my appliance during a changing. I tend to use these. You pull it out, you wipe around. There's always extra in here, so don't throw out the package. You could pour it and actually get 2 uses off of the one thing. At the same time, I don't save them and put them away. I have another barrier, protective seal here. This is a little different. This is, designed differently than the one that I was showing you earlier. I can use both. Really kind of depends on my output, depends on if my stoma is protruding more or less. When I'm doing the change, I'll decide which ones I want to use. And of course, if you're hairy, I'm a hairy guy, I definitely got to shave the area on me before I do anything. So that's kind of the stuff that I use when I'm getting ready or when I'm ready to do my change. And I'm going to pause this video for you, but take a look. Again, these are just some of the products that are out there. I happen to like the Coloplast products personally, only because of this. This is important to me. It gives me a little bit more mobility. These tend to be a little bit more rigid and a little harder to fit on my body type. So again, these for me, work pretty good. I'm going to pause the video and kind of prep. I don't think you guys need to see me taking off a dirty bag right now. But I'll pause and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back. And we're kind of set up a little bit. I changed things around to make it work for me. Here's my area. I have a chopstick. I'm going to show you how I use that. This is a barrier adhesive remover spray. Just so I can show you guys, I'm going to show you in the mirror while I'm just making things around. That is my stoma. I have had some issues with the adhesive. Again, it's been 9 months, but I think I got it down to a science now on how things work for me. And hopefully that red stuff will, over time, go away. I have a tissue box here, as you can see, a regular tissue box, and I line it with a garbage bag that usually comes with these bags. These are the bags right here, ultimately, that I wear my 2-piece system with my appliance. But the garbage bags come with this, so it kind of fits nicely in that. I reused a Puffs Kleenex tissue box, and it kind of, you can see I have my used appliance in there. I have a hair blower. I do have some wipes, and the hair blower I'm going to show you. I use it with the chopstick. We're going to heat up this appliance, this appliance right there. We're going to heat this up, make the adhesive work a little better, and we're also going to heat this up before we put it on, for the same reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it again, just so I can get myself situated and kind of do my thing and walk you through it. I'll have the camera focus on what I'm doing, not me, not my face or the stuff. But give me 1 second. All right, we're back. We're going to get started. And so this is my stoma. I did kind of clean it up a little bit, just because it's a little embarrassing putting this together. It's my first time ever doing a video like this, and you know, obviously this is something very personal to me. So what I do is I take some of the wipes. You know, obviously, when you take off your appliance, you want to clean up, and you're always going to want to be dry. But I just kind of clean up, wipe things up. These are baby wipes, fragrance free. I picked up a case of these at a Costco, probably around $40, maybe a little less. I'm not sure. And I still have plenty left, and this has been 9 months for me. So there, I've already done a little bit. But what I'm going to do, because I am a hairy guy, is I'm going to wet the area a little bit. I have some hot water sitting in the sink basin. I'm just going to put a dab of shaving cream on, kind of smear it around here. You know, obviously, as the hair grows in, it's going to affect how the adhesive sticks on me. So I like to be as clean as possible when I'm doing this, and just really go as pretty easy. You don't want to get too close to your stoma, because your stoma likes to bleed. I've nicked it a couple of times. It's not the end of the world. You'll be able to deal with it, but it does bleed pretty easily. So just want to be conscious of that. Don't freak out, and just kind of get as close as you can. I do have a towel here just to help me not make a mess. And you hear that? There's no control over this stuff when it happens, so get used to it. Okay. And I'm just wiping off the excess. Normally I do this part before I jump into a shower. And then I'll shower without my appliance on. You know, and also, it happens to the best of us, but sometimes when you're doing this, your stoma and your insides become active and you wind up taking a poop. That's okay. I just usually, if that happens, I cover it up, and, I have the garbage right here next to me. So if that happens, I'm ready for it. So this is already done, and I'm already showered. So what I do next, and this is just me, I get ready with my hair blower just to make sure. And I'm done with the water, so I empty out the sink of the water. Don't want to have an electrical situation on my hands with my hair blower going into the sink. But I'm done with that. So what I do next is I take these and I shake it up. There's a little perforated area here. I tear this open. And I don't throw out the plastic, but I do pull out what's inside. I put the plastic down for a moment, and I just kind of take the adhesive remover and wipe it around. It can touch the stoma. It doesn't burn. Sometimes there's adhesive I find in the stoma areas and the creases here. But, I take it off. Just do a good job. Excuse my belly button, my scar. And you can even see there's a little bit of blood on it, but that's okay. It's no big deal. Now I take this and I pour it again, and I re-soaked it. And that's when I said earlier, you get 2 uses out of this. just to really try to make sure I get off as much of that adhesive that might still be there. A little bit more blood, no big deal. And then I take another wipe and just kind of clean it up. Take off any excess. Yeah, excuse me, it's my thing is becoming a little active right now. That's okay. Caught it in here. Well, this is embarrassing for those of you that don't know me. I'm a very private person, and never thought I'd be doing this. I'm doing this because in 2 days I go in for another surgery and I get a reversal, which is when they're going to reconnect it, and I won't have the opportunity to make this video. I'm making this video to pay it forward for all the people that have been there for me for the last 9 months, helping me get through this. I hope that anybody who's watching this does find it useful. Okay, so we just cleaned off the adhesive remover. When I'm peeling off my appliance itself, I spray this on it as well. Kind of helps it come off a little easier. And then the next thing that you do, and I'm going to do it, I typically don't anymore, but I take out the powder. A lot of people, believe in this powder, and I kind of sprinkle it lightly. Not a lot. I do it just around the area, around the stoma itself. And again, they say to use this, stuff like the powders, if you have issues. I have had issues in the past. And while there's plenty of no sting barrier films, when I left the hospital, they gave me some of these to take with me, and I kind of bought them on my own on Amazon. They work for me. I like them. I'm used to them, but it's just a preference. There's all different kinds that are available. And you can just see it's barely wet. And all I do is I dab around. And it's kind of putting an adhesive over the skin. And so when I do put the appliance on, while it's still on my skin, it's going to be, this little thin barrier film between me. And that's it. I only usually get one use out of this. And again, the whole idea is to keep everything dry when you're doing this. So kind of dry it up a little bit. I'm nice and smooth. It's nice and dry. I'm nice and smooth from the shave. So I'm ready to start looking to put this thing on. And just before I change topics, here is another product. Again, this is just a skin barrier wipes that I got from Coloplast. Theirs are more of a big wipe, not a little dab. So you can actually cover the whole area when you're doing it at once. But give me a minute. All right, so we're ready to move on to the next step. And the next step is I'm going to take this and I want to warm it up. So get rid of this garbage right here. But I'm going to hold on to this plastic piece, and I'm going to show you why, when I'm done. And so I take a piece of this off. So I got the sticky side. I lay it down. I'm going to try to see if I can lay this down for you guys so you can watch me do this. I don't know if this is going to work, how effective it's going to work. And then what I do, so I don't touch it with my fingers, is I take my thing right here, I put it on hot, I just put it on low. See how it likes to slide around. And I'm just trying to warm it up. Not heat it up, not trying to melt it, but trying to just warm it up a little bit. So, in case you couldn't hear me, I'm not trying to make it too hot because it's got to go on my skin, but I am trying to just soften it up, make it a little warmer. And then I put it on like this. And the reason I told you to hold on to this part for me is flat. What I do is I press down. And it allows me to cover the whole area, the whole circle, because this is what it came in. And I press down. I try to, doesn't hurt, nothing, no pain, just real easy peasy stuff. I have the plastic over here. Hold on a minute. You know, the other thing that you're going to know about your stoma is that it constantly moisturizes on its own. So again, you want to just keep it as clean and as dry as you can while you're doing this part. So I tend to dab. I dab with some toilet tissue just to make sure it stays nice and dry while I'm doing this. Again, I still have this piece on. Don't forget about that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this adhesive right here. You see how this, and lay it down. Let's get this so you guys can see it. Give me a minute. Not easy to maneuver this for you guys to see. I'm trying to. I don't know if you can hear me when the hair blower goes on. But again, I'm going to take this. I'm just going to look to heat this up for a minute or so. Doesn't need much more than a minute or so. Just get this back so you guys can see. Now you take this off, and I line this up with the circle I just put on. And as I adhesive it, put it together, I pull outwards. I'm pulling outwards. I'm pulling on this part, I'm pulling downwards. From the center down. From the center out. From the center up. And again, what I like to do, because I have two adhesives now connecting, throw this on, just a little, just a real little, let's get this thing going. Push on it, get it to stick right. So far, so good. If you're following along, it's that easy. I do this every day. Okay. Now the game here is obviously you don't want to have an accident. You don't want to be in the middle of public and have an accident. You don't want to leak underneath to come out. I don't know how thick your output is. Some people are more frequent than others, and but for me, I like to just reinforce it with one of these really large barrier strips. And what I do is I go underneath. This is for a belt, by the way, those little hooks. But I go underneath. I'll tell you, this is probably the hardest part for me. Trying to get this right. See, it goes over my belly button a little bit. But as long as I get all parts of my little star, I'm happy. And then I do another one, and I get that on the top. Trying to make sure that fits the right way on the top. And I mean, I'm waterproof right now. There's nothing coming out from underneath. And again, just kind of push on it a little bit. You know, it doesn't hurt. It feels actually nice and tight, nice and clean. And hold on a minute. Again, just trying to keep myself a little dry. I'm not done. You can see a little moisture coming through. You know, this is going to happen. It's part of your body. It's what your body does. And really, that's it. I'm done. The only thing I'm going to look to do now is I'm going to take this bag. And now, my bags have a filter on them. And when I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to have this whole thing on and we'll go swimming with this whole thing on. You're going to want to take, with your bags, these little tab, this little blue tab I just peeled off. Give me a minute. I probably should have put the bag on first. My bag just kind of clicks on. And my bag also has this little clip that tightens. See that? Now it's not moving. But if I'm going into the pool or I'm going into the shower, I'm going to put this little sticky over my filter so no water gets in it. And then these things are pretty simple. They fold up and a lot of adhesive here. But before I close it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack it open just a little bit over here. And I don't put a lot in, but just a little bit to moisturize my bag. You know, a little deodorant in there in case. And I'm just going to fold it up. Take the adhesive, not adhesive, the Velcro, and then tuck it under. There's a piece of Velcro right here on my bag. Fold it again. And that's my bag change. Like I said, it's not glamorous. I'm not going to win any awards, you know, any modeling picks for this. But the point in me sharing this with you is that it's manageable. And if it wasn't for this, I wouldn't be here today. So you want to, you know, get over the physicalness. You're going to have to deal with this. It's like changing a diaper. Nobody wants to change diapers on kids, but it's got to be done. So this is how I do mine when I do it. Mentally, it's a little bit more challenging. I've joined support groups online. The one that I'm very fond of is the Real Ostomy support group, I think it's called, on Facebook. You can find me there as well. Like I said, I'll be going in for another surgery in 2 days. And they're going to put me all back together, put the plumbing back together, and I wouldn't have had this opportunity